All right, well.
Oh, we're back. I dozed off. I got hypnotized. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That tends to happen around us. Well, I have another question for you, which I think will be very useful to someone who's not very familiar with the world of hypnosis. What are some of the things that you can use hypnosis for?
You can use hypnosis for so many different things, but let's start with the most common first.
Definitely.
The most common things that people call hypnotists for, and I do a little bit of that. Most of my practice is really in some of the other things, but the most common things most hypnotists work with is weight reduction. Of course, some people say that over the word weight loss, and I don't know if people lose anything, or getting rid of bad habits such as smoking. Now here again, people say they want to quit smoking. I don't want to help people be quitters. I will help them stop smoking.
Yeah.
Just like they stop their car, they don't quit their car. So weight and smoking, healthy habits, establishing healthy habits, getting rid of bad habits, and a lot of bad habits are involved in weight. The most common thing, no matter what I work with, the person is also going to get some very good suggestions for stress reduction. And some people actually come in just for stress reduction. And better sleep. But they all really go together, and the stress reduction is what links them all together. I think every single thing we work with relates to helping that person understand that they can let go of some of the stress and not hold on to it like people have been hypnotized to do. And some people actually take pride in saying, I have such a stressful job, and I got a stressful family situation, and this and this and this. It's almost as if they're bragging about it, as if their lives are special because they are allowing themselves to feel all that stress. But yet there are other people in at least the same or even worse situations that they have that much stress, and it doesn't bother them in the same degree. What is the difference? Their self-hypnosis of either saying, stress, who cares? Or stress, oh, I'm just such a victim of stress. So stress, weight, smoking, other bad habits, and sleep. What about you? How do you view that?
Those are all very good things. There's a few other things that I do a lot more stuff with, like minor fears, like fears of spiders, flying, public speaking would fall under that same thing. I also think...
Let me ask you a question about that, about fears. Does that also relate to stress?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fears cause stress, the stress causes the fears, so that's the basic is the stress, but also the fears as well too. And I don't know if I consider it the most common things, and we were talking about common things, but yes, fears is up there in the list of commonality. Yeah.
That's I actually use hypnosis to cure fears of spiders. That's probably what I've done the most: spiders, public speaking, and flying. And I would say one big thing, which is pretty common because outside of stress, I do this with pretty much every client as well, is confidence. I think that's a really big thing too.
Confidence goes a long way. And again, I'd have to say here in Texas, we don't use the word cure either.
Yeah.
We don't ever cure anybody. Now, they might experience what they would consider a cure, of course, but as a hypnotist in Texas, we have to be very, very guarded about the word, and probably a lot of other states as well too, and maybe even other countries. So that's part of my duty, is to make us be aware of words that we have to be very careful with, as we should, because we are not therapists, we are hypnotists. As a matter of fact, the National Guild recommends we use the term consulting hypnotist. But the fears and the confidence, I think confidence goes along with it. People who experience a lot of stress, it can affect their confidence. And I have not met anybody yet, and I've worked with a lot of athletes, professional athletes. I've not had one single person yet, David, come and say, I have too much confidence, would you take some away? They all want more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one last thing that I think we haven't really talked about, but kind of still again weaves into everything else, is motivation. Motivation is a big thing in the world of hypnosis too, as you probably have heard of the big names like Tony Robbins and those folks, but motivation is also a very big thing that I work with in terms of hypnosis.
Here's what I tell my clients on motivation. I cannot give you motivation. It has to come from within. As a hypnotist, I've got to be careful with the word within.
Right.
But what I can help that person do is discover and elevate their motivation from within. But this is why a lot of these self-help gurus or the motivational speakers that go to places, maybe a company or whatever, they do this wonderful motivation speech and everyone is excited for a day or two, and then it just sort of fades away because they didn't teach the person how to motivate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And to motivate themselves, a person has to find their motivating factor, and we as hypnotists, I think, can help them discover and strengthen that.
Yes.
But we can't give it to them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It goes back to that last question we were talking about, that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis.
Yes.
They already have the keys inside of them. The problem is they have trouble finding them. We just help guide them to the door.
I think it's Socrates that said, learning is remembering.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Really.
We already know, we just have to remember. And that's what I tell my people. I'm teaching you what you already know and helping you remember how to do it yourself.
Excellent.
Good.
Very good answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.